Hello, class. This is Professor Gonzalez again, and welcome back to Marriage and Family Systems. This week 2, we're going to be diving right into one of our books, The Seven Principles of Making a Marriage Work. This is from our power couple, the Gottmans. And we're going to be talking about um, predictors of a successful marriage. And so, according to their research, and they're working with couples for over 30 years, um, two of the things that predict successful marriages are the creation of love maps and the when we find fondness and admiration in marriage. And so we're going to talk about those two things in this very short lecture. So love maps are created when couples have a rich understanding of each other's world. Having a strong love map is a predictor of a successful marriage. Um, a love map is almost like a cheat sheet, if you were to think about it. It's a cheat sheet to your partner's inner world. It's knowing the simple things like their favorite salad dressing, but it can also include more complex things like who are their favorite people, who are their best friends, how do they feel about their career or their work environment, right? Um, and so it's important to be curious about these things in our partner, um, both simple and complex, right? I want to know what my husband's favorite series is right now, right? Is he willing to binge watching it? Is that all he ever wants to do? So it doesn't have to be, a very complex truth, but it's helpful to know those truths. Um, so having a strong love map, according to the Gottmans, also helps couples go through stressors. Um, Stresses of life will occur. There we go through even just developmental changes, even as adults. We go through life transitions. We go through stressful seasons, and as such as life, problems may present themselves, right? Because this is just the world that we live in, right? We live in a broken world. And so having strong love maps helps couples navigate through those things and continue to report very high levels of satisfaction in marriage, regardless of the not so favorable season that they may be going through. In your book, which is very practical, one of the reasons why this book was chosen is because it is a very easy to read book. It's user friendly. It's conversational, relational, and but a lot of it, most of it, where you're going to find that it's going to have a lot of questionnaires, and the questionnaires are designed to strengthen a specific area of our relationships. And so, specifically to enhance our love maps, there are some questionnaires in the book, and I've gone ahead and pointed them out here so that you can use them with yourself and your partner, or you can share them with friends and family, or if you're working in a marriage ministry, or you have like a marriage study group, Bible group, then you are equipped to provide people with tools to enrich their love maps. And so as you see them here, we have right next to their names the page that you're going to find them in your book. And this is the love maps questionnaire, of course, um, the love maps game, uh, asking open-ended questions, and who am I? And so this can be a fun activity, a lighthearted activity for you to do with your partner. Examples of some of the questions that you're going to find in these questionnaires are, like I said before, name my closest friends. What stress am I facing right now? We may be familiar with the general understanding of the concerns of our partners, but maybe it's changed in the season. Um, what personal improvement do I want to make in my life? Right? Are our partners thinking about improving themselves? And if so, um, can we be encouraging of that? Can we support these goals? Is there some way that we can partner with them to help them achieve these personal goals? Um, what are some of my life dreams, right? Your goals for the near future. Um, I really like this one. What kind of person do you think our children will become? And to kind of like explore and talk about some of your fears and some of your hopes for your children. I know that sometimes my fears or my thoughts are like catastrophic. And so having conversations with my husband really helps me kind of create more balanced thoughts about our family and our future. And it's always a very helpful conversation to have. Um, or sometimes he can bring something up that I was not aware of and kind of like sharing with each other why we think this would happen. Um, is there really any indication that that's occurring? Is that kind of like the direction that our family is going? And so you would think a simple question, right, wouldn't produce like this great moment of like wisdom and awareness, but they do. So these are just some of the favorite questions that we picked, as the professors of this course, that we found that were just a very, very like eye-opening questions, and we wanted to share them with you. The other thing that is we see in successful marriages is fondness and admiration. And so this is the second principle that you're going to read about in your book. And fondness and admiration are really the two most crucial elements in a rewarding and long lasting romance. And what does fondness and admiration really mean? Fondness and admiration in a nutshell means thinking highly of your partner, and believing that they are worthy of honor and respect, right? Making an effort to see the good things in your partner, right? Is your partner going to make mistakes? Yes, they are, just like you. Does your partner have flaws and weaknesses? Yes, they do. Um, but they also have virtues. They also have strengths, and they also enrich your life in unique and great ways. And so fondness and admiration is crucial to have for a successful marriage, because we can get so caught up on the negative that it's hard to remember um, why we fell in love with them with them in the first place. you know um, and talking about remembering how we fell in love. When a couple is having a little bit of a hard time in the now, and they really can't see the good in each other in the moment, it is helpful sometimes to bring up the past and like the season of courtship, when they first fell in love with each other, when they first noticed each other, what did they like? Um, you know, Sometimes this exercise may not be helpful depending on the couple and depending on their history. But for the most part, you can see kind of like couples and how their faces light up when you start talking about those more romantic, years with not too much responsibility. um, And like I said before, problems do exist, even in the past, even when we think about how our relationship began or years ago, there could still be stressors in the relationship, but there should be some kind of positive twist to it. It should be kind of like, mm, peppered with some acknowledgement of good, right? We cannot be hyper focused on the negative that affects the relationship. And it makes it really hard to think about your partner as someone who deserves honor, respect, and love from you, right? Principle number two also creates a buffer for when life gets stormy, and just like principle number one. Um, And it is scientifically proven, studies have shown that fondness and admiration is the antidote to contempt. And this may be very silly to bring up, but couples who are happy, they they genuinely like each other. They like each other as people. There is a deep friendship, right? Like, I think you're funny. I think you are likable and not just attractive, or not just like romanticizing, but I like you as a person. And really, really, that is the core of the strong friendship that should be found in all marriages. Um, one of the tips that we give to create fondness and admiration is to catch your partner doing something good. Just catch them, you know, be purposeful about seeing the good in your partner. Highlight it, contemplate it, meditate on it, and look for small everyday moments, right, to do so. You don't have to wait for a birthday. You don't have to wait for Valentine's Day. You don't have to wait for Christmas. Like, marriages are not built on just these grand gestures and big moments. Marriages are built in everyday life with small acts that move us in the right direction. And so I was reading through some of my activities that I do with my families, and one of the activities was, reduce criticism. Because when you are criticizing someone, your body literally has more negative, it has a negative impact it's negatively impacted by your thoughts. You feel more stressed, you feel more distressed. And so one of the exercises that I do with my family is that I have them take a few minutes to write a list of all the good things that they see in their partner or their children, or whomever I'm working with. And usually after that exercise, they report having feelings of gratitude for that person in their life, and feeling very happy, and being able to remember all of the good things. So catch them doing something right, meditate on it. And if it's a little hard and you need more time, go ahead and write yourself a list. Okay, so wrapping it up, again, we have a list of questionnaires that help couples. Am I in your way? I can't really see. Let me try to move me out of here. Um, Again, a list of questionnaires that helps couples nurture fondness and admiration, and the page that we find them on. I appreciate exercise. Did that one right away. History and philosophy of your relationship. So that's going back in time, right? And maybe even if we have to restructure some memories, let's do that, right? Let's rewrite them. Let's create a philosophy. Let's rewrite our history. Let's put God's grace in that history, right? Where was Jesus when this was happening? Kind of moment. Mm, there's also an exercise to help you cherish your partner, and a 7-week course of fondness and admiration. Uh, so it so we have simple solutions, and we have solutions that take a little bit more time if that's what you're into. Okay, and finally, so for the discussion board, the discussion post this week, I'm asking you to discuss 2 ideas that resonated with you the most from the lectures and the videos on Moodle. So everything I shared with you, all of your reading, give me 2 ideas that were just like it hit close to your heart, right? Um, but also share your favorite verse about marriage. And please share with us, why is this verse so meaningful to you? I really look forward to reading your discussion board post. I get a lot out of interacting with you through your posts. I feel like I get to know you a little better, and I'm genuinely very proud of the work that you guys are doing and how supportive you are of each other. And I really look forward to reading all of the wisdom that you're going to share with me throughout this week.